the past, Garden Time's talked about how we can have our home landscape really survive wildfires. Well, we are at the Oregon Garden today with Chris from the Forestry Department, and we're actually seeing a display house that's been put up with this great landscape. Thanks for having us out here, Chris.
Absolutely.
Now this is really it's such a nice tutorial. There's great signage around here. So what can we take away from all of this display?
Well, the great thing about the display that I wanted to mention really quickly is that it's an existing structure that was developed into a full-size demonstration and teaching tool here at the garden grounds. And so it features fire-resistant construction materials on the exterior of the home,
wow.
And then it features fire-resistant landscaping around the entire perimeter of the house.
And I noticed that there's really no plant material close into the foundation, which is, from a gardening aspect, that's where we put things against the foundation to kind of hide it. So totally different here.
Correct, and in our world, we want to deal with the wildland fire risk, and so in this situation, it's really important to focus on the landscaping, and in particular this area that is known as the home ignition zone. And so in this area, it's important to think about three keywords.
Okay.
That's lean, clean, and green. We want to keep the home safe from fire in a way. So lean meaning that we've incorporated fire-resistant plants in the landscaping. They're spaced appropriately and they're pruned up nicely. Clean meaning that it's free of human and natural combustible debris. And then also green meaning that we're keeping it healthy and watered regularly.
And there's a lot of plants that really are no-nos if you're in a fire zone. You don't want to have those close to your house at all because they'll actually help feed a fire.
Absolutely. So there's a difference between fire-resistant plants and flammable plants, and you want to take stock of the kinds of plants that you have around your home. Trees, shrubs, and plants can actually add to the fire risk, or they can actually protect your home from fire by shielding it against the fire's intense radiant heat.
And I know so many people have like arborvitae hedges or plants that are existing, but you can actually go into the center and clean them out to kind of help if you don't want to remove them.
Well, actually, those are the plants that we would probably suggest not to plant around your home or in such a way that could lead a fire to your home. Your plants like arborvitae, cypress, juniper, cedar hedges, those kinds of things are the plants that we want to avoid as screening around your home for that very reason. They're highly flammable. Flammable plants have that capacity to really torch if they're right next to your home.
So then what would be a good guy? This looks like a pretty nice one next to you.
Absolutely. This is a native red osier dogwood, and this is the type of plant that is a fire-resistant plant. We like it because fire-resistant plants have typically green, moist, supple leaves from the top of the plant to the bottom. They're loosely branched so that you don't get a lot of leaf accumulation or dry, dead material inside the plant. And then also, these types of plants have clear, watery sap in them, so these types of plants don't add to the fuel load and therefore the fire's intensity.
And it's a great plant. We love it. It has beautiful fall color. In the wintertime, nice stems, so we like this one too.
Absolutely, and the fact that it's being native, it adapts better to the temperature fluctuations here in Oregon. You don't have to water it as much in the summertime.
Oh, that is great. Well, we're going to take a little walk around the other side of the house and show you another view and some more ideas. Let's go see.
All right.
Chris, as we were walking over, I noticed that there's screening underneath the deck, and so what is that for?
We put screening up around the deck. We call it screening or skirting, and we want to have that there to prevent leaf debris, natural debris from accumulating underneath the deck.
Yeah, never would have thought about that. And then this area is kind of different, and I see that the trees limbed up. So what's going on in this plot here?
So it's important to take a look at your plants as potential fire ladders. And fire ladders meaning that your plants of different heights can be arranged in such a way that if ignited, they can act like a ladder. They can carry fire from the low ground fuels to the shrub level and then up into the canopy where it ultimately could reach your home. So we want to think about vertical space, creating vertical space between the low plant fuels and the lowest limbs here on the tree, so that if a fire does come along, it can't get up into the tree and do damage. And it's a little bit harder for us as firefighters to control a canopy fire. So
really when you're at your home, you really have to look at many different spaces, many different planes, because it's not all just one dimension.
Absolutely. I think when you're really talking about landscaping close to the home, I think a good rule of thumb, again, is to think lean. You want to have plants that are low to the ground, sufficiently spaced apart so that you're breaking up that continuous fuel load, so that if a fire does come through, basically you've got low flame heights or low flame lengths, and the fire has nowhere to go.
Chris, the key point here is that wildfire can be preventable.
Absolutely. Home ignitions can be preventable. You know, fire is the one natural disaster where we have the power to affect the outcome. So I think a lot of times people think about the menacing flame front. It's really the embers that we want to be aware of. Embers are those hot firebrands or sparks that fly through the air. They can land in flammable plants, on accumulated leaf debris on your roof, or on a cushion on your patio. So we want to make sure that, you know, if we can't control where those firebrands land, but we can control what happens when they do land.
Well, you know, this is a great place to come. If you want to have more information, you come to the Oregon Garden, and there's tutorials around. There's a lot of plaques to explain what's exactly going on in this. And then there's websites to go to, and we'll connect you from Garden Time website and get even more information from there.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much. It's really been really a wonderful day.
Very good.